Hello everyone. Wanted to spend some time to show you guys the HWP-100 processor. And I'm not sponsored by Halverson, but I do like the wood processor and wanted to share some video with you folks. I had some extra logs on the sawmill pile, and really they were going to rot, so I decided to go ahead and pick up a couple of them. You'll see the log I'm picking up is a red oak, actually. One of the things about the Halverson processor is that it says it can do a 10-foot long, and it can, but you'll see there that the log is actually over the splitting wedge, and struggled with trying to find a way without actually having to get out or swing around. I've seen some folks online, they'll actually take the skid steer and they'll swing around really hard to try to get the log to slide. I tried that a couple times. I really didn't like that. But what you'll see is that right now I've got the arm down, the clamping arm down, and I'm going to run the sled forward. I call it a sled. You'll see here in just a second. And the clamping arm holds it still. Then I'll raise it and pull it backwards. And it seems so simple, but took a little while to figure that one out. So here you can start to see the basic function. The 2-ton speed, but you've got the sled, the advance, which is actually the ram that splits it. It's also the sled that carries the log, and then it, of course, goes back. There I was raising it up because the pile was getting too big. Now we're at 3-ton speed. So a very simple concept, but very effective. And really saves my back. I'm not having to chainsaw each one. So here I still have the hydraulics operational, but I put it on remote. That I had to press the start button there, and the wireless control, it has the stop and start, so you can activate it or turn it off for safety purposes. And also, when I'm out here like this, especially in front of it like that, I do not operate the chainsaw. part of the reason I'm having to resplit these is it was a larger log. This log was probably around 12 to 14, about max capacity for the HWP-100. So the four-way wedge, you can tell it's set still reasonably high for the ram, but I suspect that's why it's at that lower setting, so it matches the ram, and therefore the ones that it can do go above the four-way wedge, so you do have to run the larger logs typically back through. There you can see the Halverson unit is attached to a 267B Caterpillar. And what I'm doing here is just placing some weight on top of our stack of wood that we had just sawmilled. Of course, it's been stickered and everything, but we like to put weight on top of it to try to keep it as straight as possible while it's drying. We do this before it goes into our kiln. We'll let it sit and air dry for about 3 months to stabilize before we run it through the kiln. So we're going to put it back All right, it's rest in place now. That was one of the reasons I had to put the weights in place so that I could go ahead and stick this down in there. One of the nice things too about the HWP-100 is that it doesn't require a return to tank or a tank drain. You'll see here it only has the 2 hydraulic lines. And I debated on getting the other one, the 120, which is a slightly larger unit than this one. But I didn't really feel like running that extra line. Some machines come with it. When I say machines, I mean skid steers will come with that. But for really what we're doing, the 2 lines, it gave more than enough. I've never seen with the use, the chainsaw, the struggle. Really pleased with the HWP-100. And we've had a lot of rain here recently. It's starting to dry up, but I made a mess. So time for me to clean the mess up and make the yard the log yard anyway. Not so much of a train wreck.